So I want to talk about the famous beauty YouTuber that has recently passed away, Jessica Pettway. I'm going to put her picture somewhere in here. And I want to say this. I'm deeply saddened by the news. I didn't know her before, but I've at least had at least 10 women this morning send me her information. And she created a post about everything that she went through like a year ago, and her having cancer and just the whole process. I had to speak on it. First of all, I would definitely want to say that I'm sending my condolences to her family. She was a young woman. She was only 37. She has a husband and little girls, like babies. So it's just very extremely sad. And this is another example of how the medical industry fails women, especially Black women, when it comes to our reproductive health. So based on the story that she told about a year ago or a year and a half ago, she was saying that she noticed that she was having very heavy bleeding, and it got very heavy with clots. She described her clots like huge clots. She said at one point they were like the size of a placenta, which is, I mean, my God, I can't even imagine. So bleeding so much where she had to rush to the hospital, had all these infusions, and the doctors just brushed this off as fibroids. They just brushed it off as fibroids. Okay, so then later on, the situation happened again where she was bleeding out, having to have all these infusions, bleeding out to the point where she's passing out. And then finally, after being examined, a doctor finally found out that she had a huge mass that was cervical cancer. Okay, so at that point, it was stage 3. Not sure what happened between that point and where now that she's passed away, but I will tell you this: cervical cancer, one of the root causes is estrogen dominance. And I talk about, if you watch my lives, I talk about this stuff. That's why I keep talking about it. Number one, when your cycles start being like, when things are going on with your menstrual cycle, right? When you're bleeding more than four days, I'm gonna keep saying that because people get upset when I say that. When you bleed more than 4 days, that's a risk, that's a sign, that's a red flag. When you're in pain, that's a red flag. Any type of cramps is a red flag. When we have these clots, these are red flags. And you've been told, a lot of women have been told that this stuff is normal. It's not normal. That's number one. Your menstrual cycle is your body's 5th vital sign, ladies. Okay, in case you did not know. So it's like a reflection, it's a mirror of what's going on the inside. And then number 2, estrogen dominance, knowing what these are, what this is. Estrogen dominance at its worst can lead to, yes, cervical cancer, breast cancer, endometrial cancer. These cancers are on the rise. This woman was only 37. This can happen to anybody. Who, again, let me make this clear. Estrogen dominance, when you get rid of estrogen dominance and rebalance your hormones, you take away the risk factors for all these issues. So if you're watching this and you have fibroids, listen up, because you increase when you don't do anything, when you don't get to the root cause of the problem, you increase your risk factor for these cancers. Last year there was a YouTuber who had endometriosis, and now she's endometrial cancer. We gotta notice the risk factors, but we brush fibroids off as being normal. We brush endometriosis off, and we just do these surgeries, and we never address these issues from the root cause ever. Okay, so I just want to make that clear. It's a very, very, very sad situation. I mean, I wouldn't, like, this is horrible for anybody to go through. And the fact that she went through all of this before passing away, pain, bleeding out. If you've ever been through anything like that, bleeding out like that, you understand like what that does to you. Okay. So I can't even imagine. Definitely sending my condolences again to her husband, her family. She's been married for a very long time. I, did a lot of research on her this morning. Very long time. She has little girls now without a mother, and it's just beyond sad. So I'm saying this to you: if you're listening to this and you have issues with your cycle, okay, you have heavy bleeding, you have fibroids, endometriosis. When you guys do these surgeries, they're not getting to the root cause. So what are you doing? You're again increasing your risk for breast cancer, cervical cancer, all these other cancers. So you need to do the work to make sure you reverse this early on. Reverse estrogen dominance. It is at an all-time high right now. Okay? Okay. That's pretty much all I want to say. Okay? I hope that this gets to somebody. Somebody will say, okay, Listen, I gotta take my health seriously and stop brushing this under the rug and stop thinking that these surgeries is gonna save you, because it's not. You haven't got to the root cause of the problem. Okay? That's all. Okay? Bye.